All right, here's the situation. A man is trying to rob a bank. The teller lunged at the man. The suspect ran out of the bank. The teller chased him for several blocks and finally knocked him down until police arrived. His reward? He was fired. Joining us is nationally syndicated radio host Spencer Hughes. Spencer, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot, Fred. I'm sorry. I'm still smirking from the mashed potatoes in the couple story. I'm going to have that image in my head at 3 in the morning. Thanks a lot.
I'll tell you something. Do everything you can to avoid that. Okay. First and foremost, wouldn't we call this guy a hero?
Well, you know, I talked about this with some listeners today, and deep in my heart, I know he's a hero. But I haven't worked at a bank, but I've worked in retail. There was a similar story in Texas last week where a guy chased a purse snatcher in that case, tackled him in the parking lot. The police came, and he was a big hero. But I know that the bank has the same rules we did in retail, and that is you can't afford the liability. You just can't. You know, Fred, there was a day and age in America when we were leaner and meaner, and, you know, you could have punched that guy out and knocked his socks off, and everybody would have cheered you on. Now you got to worry about a lawsuit from the bank robber. You have to worry about, let's say he tackled the guy in the bank, which he did. How do we know that guy didn't intend to be violent unless something like that happened? And all of a sudden you have a gun out, and maybe, you know, your wife or your daughter's in the bank, and now they become a hostage because this guy's now been agitated by a teller who was violating policy, and that's why he got fired. I could see him being a hero, but I could totally understand the bank's liability in this, and they can't have tellers acting as Superman. They just can't.
Yeah, I understand that perhaps it was ill-advised, but using this logic, that would lead us to the conclusion that if anything happens anywhere, everybody should just stand back and not try to help.
Well, see, my opinion is if it were somebody in the bank, let's say I'm a customer in line and I want to tackle the guy, there's nobody stopping me now. I could still face the liability of him turning me if he's an actor. But I'm not answering to the bank. You know, I'm not an employee of the bank. So in that case, I'm not saying people shouldn't get involved at all, Fred, but I'm thinking when you're an employee and you're on the clock, he did what he had to do, but the bank had to do what they did too, and that's follow policy and fire him.
All right. Now let me move on to this. A father in Fresno has been flying a flag out in front of his house for over a year. The man in question is a Vietnam vet. His son has been in Iraq. He pledged to fly that flag until his son returned home safely. The flag has become tattered and torn. His neighbors find this the ultimate sign of disrespect for the flag. They want it removed or replaced. His son returns home on Friday. All right, now, Spencer, if you're flying the flag to keep in your mind your son safe in the military, if it's torn and tattered, are you being disrespectful?
Oh, this is a tough one. My wife and I were talking about this one tonight, and the answer is yes and no. I think ultimately people have to put flag code aside, and I know it's it's almost like a religion for many people to follow the flag code to a T, but I think nobody should be butting into this. Leave it between the father, who's a veteran himself, and the son, and I could see why he's doing it, why he can't fly a new flag in respect to his son, who's already home, thank God, safe. I don't understand that part of it. But I think people get really agitated with flag code. Have I been perfect, Fred? No. I mean, I like flying a flag in front of our house, but I'll admit to you, I've left it out sometimes in the dark, and you're not supposed to do that either. Or when it's raining, I'll forget to come down, go outside and get it. And is it disrespectful under flag code? Absolutely. But I think no one should get involved between this guy and a promise he made his son. I think that's more important in this.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is, as you mentioned, the guy's a vet. I mean, he fought in Vietnam. He defended this country. He represented this country. And if he wants to fly this flag because he believes it helps protect his son, then aside from flag code, I think he's got every right to do it. Okay.
Absolutely, I think so.
Let's move on one more. Is Big Brother always watching? A Pasadena employer installed a hidden camera in an employee office, but only turned it on when the workers were away. It was turned on at night to try and catch somebody downloading porn. California Supreme Court ruled that it was okay today because it did not invade the workers' privacy. Is this a sad day for individual rights and liberties, Spencer?
I don't think so. And you know what, Fred? I've had a nagging feeling that there's a camera in this room or something. I think it's over here somewhere. I don't know. I feel like I'm being watched all the time. I don't know what's going on. But, no, to be honest with you, I come down hard on the employees on this one. I always assume that the boss is watching. When I'm on the clock, on their payroll, they're paying me to work during these hours. I assume there's 100 cameras watching me. I mean, maybe that's the other extreme. But from what I understand, these ladies, it was after hours. They were trying to catch somebody who was doing pornography on the computer or something, and they had every right to try to nab this person. And they had no proof that these women were caught. One of them said she was changing for the gym, I think.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I use the bathroom for that. I don't change, even after hours, I'm not going to change in the middle of a workplace. That doesn't make any sense to me. And the other woman, I guess, was lifting her shirt to show her pregnant belly to the coworker. I mean, that's another thing that shouldn't be done on company time in the workplace, I don't think. So I don't think it's a Big Brother violation at all.
All right. Spencer, nice job tonight. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot. Likewise.
Okay.